We spent a lot of time last week telling you about a bill in the Texas House that would change how DART is funded. Regardless of whether this bill or legislation in the Senate passes, this dispute between the transit agency and some of its member cities, including Plano, has ignited a broader question about how people are going to travel between their homes, schools, and jobs as millions of more people are expected to move to North Texas. I spoke with the Director of Transportation at the North Central Texas Council of Governments, Michael Morris.
We very much understand the frustration the legislature has. We understand the frustration DART has, and we very much understand the frustration that the local governments have that are members of DART. Obviously, there needs to be a solution. We think there does need to be legislative change. I just don't think this is the legislative change that's in the best interest of the region going out to 2050. I'll give you an example. Today, roughly half of the population sits inside the 3 transportation authorities. With the new demographic forecast, it falls to like 37%. So as we move from 8 million to 12 million people, I need transit as a tool for all 12 million people. And the demographic forecasts aren't aligned with the original founding cities of the transit agency. So we need to expand these boundaries. I think the DART cities are carrying too heavy a load at a penny. Not everyone is putting into the transit vision. The state, is somewhat schizophrenic when it comes to transit. So I think we have to remember we're at 8.5 million people. We're not at 3 million people when the transit agencies were formed. And my job is to start acting like we're 12.5 million people, because the Metropolitan Planning Organization has to plan for 2050. And 2050, we're going to need transit in the whole region.
When you say you want to expand, the transit agencies, what does that look like?
So our official position, and I don't want to mince words, our official position is this issue should have been resolved at home. It shouldn't have been brought to the legislature. That's the RTC's position. And the RTC is said, we funded Transit 2.0 for a reason. Why don't we implement a new legislative solution using the fundamental principles of Transit 2.0? So I want to be careful, as a staff person, we can't oppose the legislation, but we don't think it's the right place for the conversation to be resolved, and it's not nearly as comprehensive than what we need. I think it would be best if the legislature sends the issue back to the region, directly or indirectly. We've specifically asked for a direct instruction. Hey, Dallas-Fort Worth, go solve this issue and bring it back to us. We're prepared at the Regional Transportation Council to fix this particular problem back at home. And I think we got to bring in the legislative delegation from our region, all the transportation authorities, all the local governments that are paying into the transportation authorities, all the cities that are interested in getting some transit that aren't part of an authority. We need to be prepared to do a much better job on delivering a transit system in a transit institutional structure for 12.5 million people